I wish that you could have been there to hear testimony from a woman named Sabina. She's from Renfrew. Here's a woman who'd been 18 years on psychiatric drugs. And in spite of that, in and out of hospital, sadly with the condition she was afflicted with, when she wasn't trying to take her own life, she was trying to take her husband's life. And here she'd been on the vitamins a year and a half when I met her, had not had a single failure. That's something that I think would attract some attention. And I think you might want to say, whoa, this is helping. But of course it's anecdotal evidence, but she was one of about 3,000 Canadians who had improved. She was now, by the time I met her, a year and a half after taking these products, no longer trying to kill herself. She's working, she's paying taxes, and Mr. Speaker, I have to admit as a Conservative, I like that. She's also volunteering. She's not on the high needs list. She's out in society and producing. And actually, when I saw her at the court case where she testified for this company against Health Canada, she'd lost 60 pounds. She's off all her medication and taking nothing but the vitamins. The company she worked for is so impressed with her that they have sent her to get a university degree. And she's volunteering, training horses on the side. A tremendously productive lady, a lady with a tremendous sense of humor. I wish you could all meet her. I wish you could have been here to meet no less than the former Deputy Prime Minister of Norway when he came to the House here. He came to meet with Health Canada officials about this product because he had a child that was out of control and nobody in Norway had been able to help him. And he heard about this product and he ordered it for his child, and his child improved so much that he wanted to import this product to help other people in Norway with this product, but he couldn't because there was a warning on the Health Canada website that's still there to this day that this is an untested and a dangerous product. And Health Canada, therefore even the officials in Norway, even with his connections, he was not able to import the product. When I had lunch with him, he was later scheduled to meet with Health Canada. When they found out why they were here to visit with him, they canceled his appointment. It seems sadly that no one in Health Canada was willing to meet with Sabina or with this gentleman, or with the thousands of Canadians. The Minister of the day was not willing to meet with them. But they were concerned when Health Canada was trying to shut down this product at the border because the Minister of the day had the attitude or the approach that this was an untested drug, it could be thalidomide. That's disappointing. But that kind of attitude seems to be what's prevailing in Health Canada even to this day, and that's why people are concerned about the implications in the bill. Now, I guess I should be following my notes. I'd know where I am. But this is the same Health Canada that may be handed down extraordinary, and some might even say draconian, provisions in the bill. So there are some concerns here, Mr. Speaker. I think that people would like to know that the vision of the transition team would come to pass, that the regulatory regime would be one that's friendly, that helps natural health products, which by nature are low risk, become available. And I just want to quickly highlight, I know my time is short here, Mr. Speaker. One of the concerns is this. It's section 15.1.4, which says simply that the minister has the power to put any product or class of products under prescription-only status. To do this currently, the challenge is simply this, that vitamins and minerals, nutritional products, amino acids, they're what we're made out of. They've always been public domain. But you see, under this powers in the bill, the minister could simply move something from the vitamin class or the natural health product class over to a drug class in certain potencies. The minister has those powers. That's one concern. Another concern is clinical trials, Mr. Speaker, because it says that clinical trials must be approved for designated therapeutic products. But most of the research on natural health products that we depend on to understand how they work, like vitamin D that we found out has such an impact on people with multiple sclerosis we found out a little while ago, and now we're recommending we should be taking vitamin D to reduce a whole host of other conditions, including many cancers. So we're concerned about the availability of these products. Clinical trials, the university research could be put at risk, some would argue, that perhaps you might say, have you applied for a clinical trial to do that basic research? And finally, the definition of government has people concerned, Mr. Speaker. I'll just finish with this simple remark, that the government under this definition could be another international government or an international agency, and that could bring in regulations from some World Health Organization or Codex, for example, that could be imposed on the Canadian public without due consideration or consultation here at home. Those are some of the concerns. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Questions and comments?
there are many Canadians are concerned. There's a subset of Canadians, I guess recent statistics tell us about 71% of Canadians are taking some form of vitamins and minerals regularly. I suppose that's because Canadians themselves believe it makes a difference. And I would say that's very good advice. You should be taking something, in my opinion. But, Mr. Speaker, I think the problem seems to come from Health Canada's long-standing approach that people should not be allowed to what they call self-diagnose or self-treat with what they want to define as serious disease. And I think that that attitude itself, it may be the root of the problem. It seems that that attitude may in fact be a bias that's as old as the Food and Drugs Act itself. And it may be that that entrenched bias, if we can call it that word, and by the way, I use the word bias to simply mean it's your worldview. I suppose we all have a bias. I suppose the only people who don't have a bias are ones that haven't thought about something long enough to form an opinion. But my point is in this that there seems to be a problem in the way some of the thinking has been in the past in Health Canada. I would hope that we can see this change, that a different vision could be accomplished, and it may be that our minister will in fact become the champion that the transition team was looking for, someone who would like to see natural products take their rightful place. But it's an attitude here that if we decide that, somebody with, for example, the Empower Plus was mental health, that's a serious illness, and the fact that vitamins and minerals, which by and large have been public domain, would help them with that problem, there are people who think that you shouldn't be able to get that help without medical supervision. The challenge is that that approach has left us with a problem that's still getting worse, and here we see something that's offering great promise from the domain of something that was public domain, vitamins and minerals, just helping sort out a biochemical problem. Maybe we need to refresh in our outlook and make sure that we have people in charge of the regulations and a perspective that protects the interests of the public, and making sure we investigate and analyze and study the things that are most hopeful. We're having a tremendous number of articles come out about vitamin D. There's another one about vitamin D and calcium in the newspaper just yesterday, reducing the risk of type 2 diabetes. There's another one about chocolate. Everybody, chocolate lovers in the room here today? Well, there was an article in the same paper yesterday talking about, yes, chocolate has tryptophan in it. And that's an amino acid, by the way, that Health Canada actually did take off the market for a while. Tryptophan is simply an amino acid. It's found in turkey, chicken soup. But tryptophan is important in producing serotonin, which is important in regulating mood, in reducing anxiety. And so all the antidepressant drugs, so many of them are selective serotonin uptake inhibitors. So you don't break down the serotonin, makes you feel better. Simple thing like chocolate or tryptophan, an amino acid, if you had enough of it in your system, helps to calm people down. Maybe we should try and make sure those are more available rather than less available.
Questions and comments?
I would simply say my concern is from previous attempts, we were told we had a third category before under Food and Drugs Act when they simply took the regs and plunked them as a subclass of drugs. And that was told that was a third category. Last word is simply this on type 2 diabetes. It was interesting the day we had a big push for Aboriginal communities to enhance the diagnosis of diagnosis for type 2 diabetes on reserve, since that's a federal responsibility. The same day there was an article in the local paper here about a natural health product, a herbal product from native Aboriginal history that turned out to be just as successful as the best drugs in actually managing type 2 diabetes. I just wonder why we hadn't promoted that first in their community, which was long-standing part of their culture.